Alright guys, so this is not a video for great production or anything. This is just a video to let you know it's one of two. I'm going to try and get out tonight real quick. This one's going to be more presentation. This is based on the calendar. So this is the idea I have for our calendar. Model, makeup, and hair calendar. It's not a name that's set. I'm open to opinions. Give me some names. Give me your guys' feedback on what we would like as a name if we're all cool with doing this. So it's a 2016 calendar, and I hope you guys are asking right now, what is the purpose of this calendar? What are we doing a calendar for? So there's several reasons. First of all, it's number one, advertisement, right? This is how we get our advertisement out there. Every picture that we're going to have is going to be a different model, a different makeup artist, a different hairstylist. We're all going to be on there putting this stuff out there. It's going to have your information, it's going to have your Instagram, your emails, your everything enveloped in it. The other part is customer engagement. The customer engagement, this is an opportunity. Some of us are a lot shyer than other people about going out there and meeting new people, getting out there and personalizing with clients, talking to people, getting that new job. So as being a coach and trying to help with that, because believe it or not, I could not do this kind of stuff before. I still don't like my voice, still don't like a lot of things, but I knew for me to succeed, I had to do certain things that were out of my element. Now I'm talking to you guys, right? So that customer engagement, this is an opportunity for you to go find new customers, for you guys to be able to advertise to new customers, people that you generally wouldn't see or they wouldn't come looking for this stuff, and get those clientele in. It's beginning also a passive staple of income. Now this is only the first year, but I want you guys to look at this in a quick round situation that how many makeup applications can you do a day? And actually make a successful living at it. If you're doing 5 or 6 every day, you're going to get burnt out. If you're doing it every day, you're going to get burnt out, right? But we want to make a couple $1,000s a month, right? We want to make $5, $6, $7, $8,000 a month. You want to be able to do that, right? You need passive income. So if you can beat one face, or you can do hair one time, and you can make money all year round out of it, isn't that kind of what you want? Now I'm not guaranteeing that this time. I'm guaranteeing this is the start, just like Exposure Walk was the start of us doing something a little bit bigger, a little more outside the box, right? Going out and taking something that nobody else is grabbing right now. So this is how we start a passive income. This is one way. There's a lot of other ways, and I'm going to be working on that with you guys in the months and years to come. I want us to build up, and I want us to be taking care of our business. Gaining support and sponsorship. So also, this is another reason. You want to gain support. You have supporters. You got family members, everybody else. And they support you. They're right there with you. Because they know you can do it. Now this gives them that chance to see what you're doing and to brag about it to everybody else. They're going to have this thing hanging up. Who's that hanging on the wall? Why do you have this crazy looking thing on the wall? That's my daughter's, or that's my granddaughter's, or that's my sister's makeup, or that's her as a model. This is where they're going. It gives something. So I'm not making something that's a BS publication. We're making a real thing here. This is going to be frameable art if that's what the client decides. And sponsorship. I'll probably talk about it a little bit more in a couple minutes, but the sponsorship, this year, yeah, we're going to be hustling to get it out there. You're going to have a lot of opportunity to make money after you've hustled the print for this, and we've hustled the print for this. But what if we can do such a good job at this? I'll tell you what I'm doing with all my prints. About at least 50 to 60% of them are going to MAC, they're going to NYX, they're going to Revlon. I don't know who's all involved, some hair salons, some of this, some of that. And I'm going to be looking for sponsors. I want people who are going to say, hey, we'll line all your makeup artists up with makeup and we'll pay for the prints. I'm going to say, okay, you can do that, but all my makeup artists, all my models, everybody, they're going to get a certain amount of prints for themselves, so that way they can make their own thing. They're going to get a percentage off of what you sell out of your stores. We're going to take this to a next level. This would be nice. Like I said, this is that passive income. This is a passive income opportunity. Somebody else can pay for it, and we can just collect residuals. We can just keep getting our name out there. Wouldn't that be nice? And then building a core foundation. Once again, this is my photography, but this is not just about my photography. This is about business. My business that I'm creating, it revolves around photography. It revolves around the aesthetics of photography. fashion photography seems to be where I'm going with this, and that includes makeup, that includes hair, that includes everything. Yes, this is my photography. This is me, and I'm a photographer doing this. I understand that. I understand how that's, you know, not most photographers are going to do something like this. I don't want to be most photographers. I don't want to be most other people in the business world right now. That's why I'm changing that culture. I want to create a foundation for myself, for you guys, to where you guys can be getting business, whether it's other photographers, whether it's other events, whether it's this or that, where you can be getting out there, you can be getting those opportunities. If you succeed, I'm succeeding. I want to change the culture of the way things are going. I'm seeing a lot of people fighting with each other. You guys remember this from the exposure walk and the little video I did there. If not, refresh, go check it out. It's a little lengthy, but it's pretty important into what I'm doing, my mission, my goals with this. So I'm not trying to do something that's just for me. I'm trying to do something that elevates everybody together, because we all have opportunities with each other, including myself, including yourself, as a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a model, as an artist, as everything else involved. We all have moments that we can get opportunities from each other. But if we're not thinking in that kind of culture and that kind of mind, then none of us are getting any opportunities from each other, right? So this is what I'm doing. I'm creating this foundation. I want that passive income for all of us. I want to be able to bring support for all of us, sponsorship for all of us. And I'm not talking about necessarily money. There's a lot of other sponsorship. Anyway, so this whole thing is investing in your own career, okay? The investment into your own career, because advertisement is an investment. You have to pay for that usually. I'm giving you a little something where you don't have to invest money per se. Money will be going through it, but I'm giving you the way to make the money to pay for it. So there's advertisement, that's investment. Customer engagement, that's investment into you. Because you're learning how to deal with people a little better. You're getting that clientele that you normally wouldn't get. You're showing clientele that normally wouldn't be looking. Beginning a passive income, that's one of my favorite things is passive income. It just feels, say it with me, passive income. It feels great to say that. Because it means that you have something coming in and you don't have to work for it right now, okay? Next thing, so this, what you're looking at right now is an example of what I have in mind. I know it looks pretty plain Jane in the sense of it's all white, but I've noticed real nice calendars and stuff generally have just white around them because you're supposed to focus on the picture. If it's real art, if it's real photography, if it's real this or that. When you go to Walmart and stuff, and those ones, you know, that you get real cheap, they generally don't have something that's just clean and nice. I want everybody to look at this and look at Susan, look at the model, look at what detail there is. So these are not going to be small, you know, 15 by 25 inches, pretty big, but that's going to be including the top and the bottom. I'm not sure how I'm going to have them printed yet as far as how they open and close, but I want to keep the photos as close to the original as can be finished. In other words, I don't want to tune up everything. This photo that you're looking at, this was just an amazing capture I had, and it's one of my favorites to this day. It's one of most people's favorites to this day. It just happened that way. The way the light bounced off the velvet gave it a red glow. I like that. So even though I like the other one just as well, where I turned up that red, this is more natural, and this is more exactly what happened. All I did is add a little vignette. So it's just a little bit of finishing to draw you into the middle, right? I don't want to do a lot of crazy stuff with these photos. I want to make them clean and nice. Every page here is going to have the Instagram at the bottom and the name of the model, the makeup artist, and the hairstylist, you know, just to throw it out there. So this is that part. There is more to this than just the Instagrams, but that's going to be on the back. I'll explain in a moment. Every page is a different cast with a different style. I don't want everybody doing the same thing. I'm not giving you all the same backdrop and saying, hey, you guys all do your version of this. That would kind of be fun too, but I don't want everybody doing the same exact thing. I want to see these contrasting styles. I just want to give you guys some kind of backdrop and say, now run with it. Have fun with your model. You know, some will be in the street, some will be here, some will be there. I don't know. We're going to find some pretty crazy stuff. The calendar itself, where you got your days and your months, you'll notice that I have some pictures back there. It's kind of the hairstylist putting in his work, the makeup artist doing her thing, and I kind of want to try and incorporate those as much as I can. Am I going to get a great picture of each one of those? Maybe, maybe not. I hope I do. I'm going to be there for every shoot, so I'll be there for every prep. Every page is a different cast with a different style, so like I said, we're not going to have 3 pictures by one hairstylist, or 3 pictures by one makeup artist, or three of the same model. No, it's going to be different. I want to make this more beneficial for everybody, and by adding more people, it makes it more beneficial, and I'll explain that on one of the next slides. Quality print and paper to provide art. In other words, you as an artist, you as a model, if you're giving this away, you're selling this, whatever you're doing with it, after the print is paid for, it's yours. The rest of the copies are yours to do with as you please, right? You want to sign them? People will be able to take this and frame it and put it in something. You know, it's not going to just be 2016, October of 2016, or no, they'll be able to take it out, frame it. You'll be able to sign these. You'll be able to do whatever you want with these. This is going to be your art. This is going to be your thing. So I want to make sure there's a quality print and paper. Now, I'm not doing archival paper. I'm not going to go up here and spend $30 per each calendar. We can't do that. It wouldn't be feasible. We'd have to sell them for a lot, and it would take us a while to find that kind of clientele. I'm not saying it won't happen. It may happen, but not today, not tomorrow. So the back will not be this, but you understand that this was the background from our exposure walk, and it was everybody's Instagram, because I want people to be able to find us. Well, the back is going to be a business card for everybody involved. I'll probably line it up January, February, March, so everybody can correlate the picture with who was involved with it. So they can have your email, they can have your website, your portfolios, whatever you want to put on there. They'll be able to get to you. But everybody's going to be involved with this. Everybody's going to be on the back here so they can reach you. But the Instagram, I want to put something quick bang for the buck, that when they see that picture, they open it up and go, holy crap, look at this amazing shot. Who did the makeup? Bam, they can find it right there. Who did the hair? Bam, it's right there. So now we're down to the brass tacks. We're down to the actual money-making part. How are we actually profiting off of this, or are we going to profit off this? Do you want to profit? So I kind of broke it down at on the top margin. You'll see $7 at 1,000. So I don't know the numbers for sure. I still have to look into this, but I was guesstimating, well, we're doing a large print. If I do a large print, how much is that going to cost? So I said, if we got 1,000 copies, I could probably, estimating, get them for $7 a copy. Well, I started looking at that. Okay, so how much do we want to sell? That'd be for 42, 43 people involved. That'd be about 23 copies each. If we sell for $10 each, we're actually got to sell 24 each person to just pay for the print, right? So that's no good. That doesn't give you anything else to play with afterwards. As a matter of fact, you're actually having to pay $10 just to make the print happen. So you'll see that when we go over here to 5,000, you know, they're making a much larger print. They're going to make more money off of us in a sense, because it's just machines doing the work pretty much. That's why it happens that way. But we'll probably get them for $5 a copy. Now that'd be 116 copies per person. So say you sell to your family, to your friends, to those people that are your main supports. They're gonna want to see your work and see some other cool work too, right? We're not being stingy here. It's for everybody. If they sell 27 copies at 25 bucks, then you pay for that whole print and everything else. And I'll assess some of the other fees that are involved. So we're looking at, if we were to do this, 5,000 copies, we're probably looking at, you don't know this, right off the top of your head, it doesn't make sense, it sounds ridiculous, but at $5 a copy, that's $25,000 for print, to make 5,000 copies. So everybody's gonna have to sell X amount of dollars worth. Now, I put it up here 10, 15, 20, 25. I hope we can all agree on this and come to one and say, we'd like to sell all of them for 20 bucks or 25 or whatever. But it's up to you. You get your 116 copies, and that's what you have to play with. You can sell them all for $10 and you'll still have 50 copies left over. So I mean, it's definitely cool. I'm definitely aiming for the 5,000 so we can have more to hand out, more to give out. As I said, I'm going to be promoting with all mine. I'm not even going to make money off of mine. So where's your money going? I'm investing the money. I'm investing it into armadillophotography.com. I'm going to get my website going. However, if you guys paid attention, when I gave my last speech about this stuff at the Exposure Walk pre-event thing. It's Armadillo Photography and Associates and Friends. In other words, you guys who are involved in this are going to have a page, are going to have a link, so that way when they look for my photography, they see my associated makeup artists, my associated models, my associated hairstylists. They see you. They can go down that list and look through the portfolios. They can see that we work together. So if I got somebody coming to me with some fashion and so they say they need models, instead of them having to go find models and try and get the models to get on the same time frame, instead they could just come to me because they're doing my photography, and I'll tell them, you hook up with my models and I'll give you a discount on my photography. My models are getting paid, everybody's getting paid, but this way you're associated with me, and because you've done good work with me and you continue to do good work with me, that keeps you on that association trip, as an associate. So like I said, it's beneficial if you see the Exposure Walk. Once again, not a good video, but it's informative. So printing ability. I want to have the ability to print my own goods. I make it, why can't I print it? I went and bought a whole bunch of printers this last couple weeks, messing with them, and I'm not getting the quality I want out of them. Find out the printer I'm going to need is about $1,000. I'm not very excited about that, but then again, it's a good investment because I can give you guys the proof. I can give you guys what you guys are making. So anyways, that's part of where that investment is. When I do a shoot with you, I can give you something that prints off of it. I can give you something. I can actually show you what your print looks like blown up. I can do these kind of things. So this is just, this is not even the printer I actually want. That's going to be another year or two down the road, and you're looking at about $10,000 for that printing setup. So this is just a little minimal right now, but it's passive. It will get us somewhere, and it will get us some of our prints coming out. So where is my money being invested into? Is being invested back into us. Doing all the photography for this, and that's fine as far as me putting out the calendar, right? But I'm also putting the calendar together. I'm also meeting with the printer. I'm meeting with all this stuff. I'm making sure that everything's finalized. I make sure the communication between us all is getting out there. I'm holding people accountable. Remember, that's one of the things about having a good group, is that we can hold each other accountable. If somebody's not picking up their slack, we need to let them know, hey, do you need help, or are you not trying? So I've got to do all that kind of stuff. We have 2 people that didn't show up to this last Exposure Walk, and there was no excuse for them not to be there. They're gone. They are no longer working with us. Their names are not brought up anymore because they were not reliable. They were not responsible. I had to hold them accountable. Nice people, not accountable. Last final note here. I am hoping that we can make this happen this year. I'm hoping that we can all pre-sell these, because I don't have 25 grand in my thing to make that print happen, or whatever it is. And I'm hoping it's cheaper than that, because that means we get to make more money than that. But like I said, I'm not sacrificing quality. I'm not putting out a crappy product. I want to put out a good product because it has my name and it has your name associated to it. So we want to put out something good. On that note, I'm going to ask that we can pre-sell some of this stuff. We can get those copies pre-sold so we can pay for our own printing. I want to get this done. I want to at least have it up to the printer no later. I'd like to have it done by mid-October, but if we can have our pre-sale done by the beginning of October, so that way we can have it for our next Exposure Walk event, that would be amazing. I do understand that's pretty short notice, so it's only about 2 months away. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I've got other stuff. I got to get to the other video. Once again, not pretty, no aesthetics. It's just for you to be informed. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick tidbit. I know it's not really that quick, but it's informative. It's good stuff. Thank you guys for doing such a great job, and thank you for watching this video, because this is important into the next year. This half an hour that you spend with me, watching me right now, this is just setting the tone for what's to come in our careers and stuff. So let's make this stuff happen. Let's make it a better future for us, for the culture that we live in, everything else. So anyways, I will talk to you guys a little bit later, and I look forward to the feedback from you. Okay, so real quick, I just want to throw this out there. So yes, I wasn't real clear on how the print sales, all that stuff's going on. So we're going to have to sell X amount. We need to pre-sell that. So I'm going to do a shoot with Unique this Wednesday, actually, and that's going to be like one of our first ones. I'm going to be rushing these shoots through September, till the end of September, so I can get them out there. I'm not going to be going through the whole assortment, fixing 50 pictures from each shoot. Now, I may go back and revisit and some of my favorites afterwards, but my priority is to bang, 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 get this calendar out. So by making this calendar and getting this all done, you guys should have something to go off of. We're going to try and pre-sell this. Like I said, it's going to have to be your main supports, that are pitching in and helping buy these and everything else. I get that. You could sell them at work. You could sell them to this person, that person. I'm going to print out receipts for everybody to be able to take, so that we're more like order forms. So that way they know they got a receipt for what they're getting. I'll send it to them directly. You put the address down and I'll get it to them. If you would rather deliver it to them, then I'll send it to you. But I need the receipts after this is done, so that way I know where they went. That way if somebody does have a discrepancy, I can take that up with them or however, and make sure that everybody's on the same track. I have to do these things. It's part of business. But we're going to have to pre-sale 20, 30, how many ever it is to get to that number. And that, like I said, it's dependent on you and how much you feel that this calendar is worth. I'm going to try and get a test print done towards the end, so that way you guys all have something. We may not have all the calendars in October. We may only have that test print of 50 copies. So that way you can go pre-sale, 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 pre-sale. Then when it comes to November, December, we can have them all sold. And then, like I said, you'll have 116 copies. If we do that 5,000 order, you have 116 copies. You're going to have to sell 25 of them or 30 of them. You're still going to have 80, 85 copies, 90 copies left. That's for you. Like I said, that's what I was getting at earlier. I noticed I didn't clarify that very well. You're going to have 80 copies, 90 copies. Those are for you. You get to do whatever you want with those. You can sell them. You can keep them. You can hang them on the wall. That's calendar, right? That's what you do. So, anyways, just wanted to throw that in there real quick. Finishing the video, it's done. You guys, it's not awesome. Hopefully, if there's clarification needed, let me know. And anyways, I look forward to talking with each one of you personally. You guys should know by now that's kind of how I do things. So, but I wanted to throw this as a general out there, so that way everybody can kind of absorb a little bit of what's going on. All right, have a